Hello, my name is Professor Johnson, and today I will demonstrate how to use a contingency table to find probabilities. So in this table, we have 180 students that were asked whether or not they use Facebook or Instagram. We will let F be the event that a student uses Facebook, and let I be the event that a student uses Instagram. So here we have our total table. We could see that this 88 right here uses Instagram and uses Facebook, right? It's in the overlap, so 88 use Facebook and Instagram. Okay, if we look at this column and you see the total 140, we see that the total 140 students use Instagram. Okay, and then if we look at this value of 6 students do not use Instagram, but they do use Facebook. Okay, so that's how you read the overlap. Now, what I can see here, I could get the total for Facebook users if I add 88 and 6. So if I just take my calculator, or you could use your mind, right? 94 would be your total for using Facebook. Now, another total we could fill in is this one, because we can see in this column we have to add up to 140. So if I take 140 and subtract 88, well then I get that missing part, 52. Another way to think of that is 88 plus 52 totally adds up to 140. So then that's your check. So we have part of the table filled in. Now to get the rest of the table, we need to use this idea that there's 180 students total. Now that total will go in this grand total spot. So I will place 180 right here, and that will allow us to be able to fill in the rest. So if I go along this total row, this row right here, we have 140 and we need to add something to get to 180. Well, 140 plus 40 gives you 180. So we have that missing entry. Now, what about this column? 6 plus something gives you 40, or you could just check 40 minus 6, so 34. So 34 plus 6 would give you 40. That's another way to do it. And then there's two ways to get this spot. You could add the row, 52 plus 34 gives you 86, or you could take 180 and subtract 94 to find what's missing. Well, 86 is missing. So there's two different ways to find that 86 value. So filling in the table is the first boundary to get over. So we have all of that. Let me erase the highlighting. So now we have our total table. Let's find probabilities from this contingency table. So find the probability that a randomly selected student is a Facebook user. So what I'm going to do is look at Facebook, uses Facebook. Well, that total would be 94. So 94 use Facebook out of 180 total students. So that would be my solution. And I don't necessarily like those weird decimals. So I'm going to hit the math button and choose number 1, fraction, and then hit enter, and you'll get 47 out of 90. And that would be my solution for are they a Facebook user? Okay, find the probability that a randomly selected student is an Instagram user and not a Facebook user. So let me get rid of my past highlights. Let me use a different color. So they're an Instagram user and not a Facebook user. So they use Instagram but does not use Facebook. So if we find that overlap, we could see that value there would be 52. So 52 are in Instagram and Facebook and not Facebook, right? The overlap. So that overlap is 52 out of everybody. It's out of 180. It's out of all the students. So then you get a crazy decimal, but let's hit math, fraction, enter. 13 out of 45 is our reduced fraction. So that works out nicely for us. And then what we could do is have a different type. Number 3 and 4 are special examples. These are using what's known as conditional probabilities. And with conditional probabilities, that's when you're given some information about the situation at hand. So read number 3. Given that a randomly selected student does not use Instagram, what is the probability that they use Facebook? So we're given that they do not use Instagram. What we do is look at only does not using Instagram. You only look at those values now. Everything else, ignore. So ignore everything on the outer reaches. Then we have to look at what is the probability they use Facebook. Well, using Facebook, I will go across that row and you could see that value of 6. So here I would have 6 out of 40 total. So 40 became my new total because I'm only looking at students that do not use Instagram. And then 6 are the students in that group that use Facebook. So 6 out of 40 would be my simplified solution. So 3 out of 20 or 0.15, those are both very nice answers, right? A nice terminating decimal, I like that. Okay, going on to the next one. Let me erase my overlaps. So let's demonstrate another conditional. What is the probability that a randomly selected student uses Instagram given that the student does not use Facebook? So we're given that they do not use Facebook. So does not use Facebook is what is given. I'm only going to look at that row. So I will be ignoring, so let me just scribble out everything else. I will be ignoring all these other values, right? I'm only now looking at the 52, 34, and 86. So 86 is my new total. Now, how many of them use Instagram? So using Instagram, well, that would bring you to that 52. So 52 out of 86 would be my solution. It's not a nice decimal, so I will hit math, fraction, 26 out of 43. That would be my final answer there. So just remember, when you're given information, you reduce down what you're looking at. So I reduced down to just that single row there, and then I looked at that group and figured, okay, 52 of them liked Instagram. And there we go. Thank you for watching my video.